There'll also be prasadam at that event after.
And there'll be prasadam.
Yes.
At the palace. Haribo!
What about prasadam?
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharane Nirvansesha Sunyavadi Paskachada Shatarane. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I always tell the story, I'm almost a Prabhupada disciple. I was on the list in 1977 and somehow he left the planet before I got the opportunity to directly be his disciple. But I still feel like his disciple, and I feel like we're so lucky, and this place is so beautiful. And I came in '81 and it was still austere. I couldn't make it through the first winter. I had to go live with my mother in Philadelphia because it was just too intense. And anyway, but somehow or other, Kirtananda Swami stole my heart and talked me into being here, and so I'm here. And I thank all the devotees here, and I especially want to thank Kamalini and Apurva, because they haven't really ever really lived here, but they come all the time, and they're really, in my opinion, Brijabasis. And they just add so much to New Vrindavan every time they come. And I love Apurva. He was the first devotee that ever took me into a kitchen in 1977 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He had no help in the kitchen, and my son was only, I think, 18 or 20 months old, and the brahmacharis gave him a hard time for bringing a mother and a baby into the kitchen, and he said, well, you want to come in here and help me cook? And so he trained me up on some cooking, and we used to make these huge spice cakes and then go out on Harinam in the crazy bar district in San Juan, but and everybody would dance with us. It was a great experience, and I feel like his association brought me closer to Prabhupada, so thank you. And I didn't really prepare anything today. I've been having a kind of a crazy busy month, but I just got this offering, and I met Kadamba Swami about 13 or 14 years ago, and in talking with him, he just really stole my heart, and he always said, he gave me his spiritual history because he had to get reinitiated, and he came right after Prabhupada left, and he went to Vrindavan, and he goes, I'm a Prabhupada man, and he always sticks by that. So I just got this in the mail. It's not too long. I'm just going to read this as his offering. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace. Some devotees saw that when you were present, the spiritual world was also present. You have made us all aware of Krishna's presence. You gave reality as it is. We had no idea we were living in a world of dreams and desires in relation to the material world. Gradually, you changed our desires, and now we want to serve Krishna. We want to go back to Godhead. Now we love Vrindavan. We trust in the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhāgavatam, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We learned that every one of our actions must be based on Scripture. We learned about selflessness. We learned about giving, about a life dedicated to distributing transcendental mercy freely to everyone. We learned that an attitude of humility and giving all respects to others attracts Krishna. Then one can chant Krishna's name incessantly. Sanatana Goswami received these instructions from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who asked him to write a book about Vaishnava behavior. And then Sanatana prayed that the Lord would manifest in his heart so that he would be able to fulfill the Lord's desires. I am one who hears it all, but I still fall short. However, my good fortune is that I have been allowed to do some service. I cannot count all the blessings you have brought into my life. And now I am praying that all your teachings may manifest in my heart, and that I may render some useful service for the remainder of my life. Your servant, Kadamba Swami. And unfortunately, unless Krishna changes the plan, his life is maybe one more year. But anyway, in relationship to what he said, my prayer is that I know New Vrindavan will continue to go on, as others have said, but I just I just pray that everyone learns to have the humility that he speaks about for Srila Prabhupada's sake, and to be kind and humble and compassionate to others, and not commit any offenses against any of the devotees, because they're only hurting their own spiritual life. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki!